Hey playa, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So on this live stream, I'm going to be talking all about my secret trick to making new friends. This is something I've done over the years to make different friends in high school, in college, at work, or anywhere that I go. I want to share that with you, but first, I want to let a few more people roll in, and I want us to hearing your guys' stories. So I want to know where you guys stand. I know a lot of you are have already started the new school year, and you're just getting into the swing of things. So I want to hear from you guys. Sound off in the comments. How many of you guys already have your group of friends established? You already have your core group of people that you hang out with, and how many of you are just kind of lone wolves? You're just kind of going about your day, going about your thing, doing your thing in school, and you want to establish more friendships, you want to get closer with certain people, but you just don't know how to go about it. So I'm going to look at the comments. I'm going to say hey to a few people that I see, a few people that are common players here in the game. So Spiders Plays, what's up? Anthony, always good to see you. Dijon Hunt, Topaz and Pets, Captain Aviation, Kyle Go Hard, A Gamer, Martha Gonzalez. Good to see you guys. I'm happy to see you guys again here in the live stream. If you're someone that is new, like I said, hit the subscribe button. I'd love for you to check out the other videos on my channel. All week long, I've been talking all about how to make friends, how to go about dealing with shyness and overcoming that. And I want to share my secret trick with you guys, which I'm going to do a little bit later on. I want to tell you a few stories along the way that leads up to the secret trick and explains why it's something so powerful. So looking at what you guys are saying here, Captain Aviation can't stay long. Thank you for coming in, though. I appreciate it. Let's see. Notification squad in the house. What's up, Anthony? Anthony says, Josh, my confidence has been so high to the point where I've been doing things I normally would be nervous of. That's awesome, Anthony. I remember you were saying in the Discord, for those of you guys that don't know, I do have a Discord channel. So if you're curious, ask for it in the chat here and I'll share it up with you guys. But so Anthony's been trying new things. He's just been on this high. He's developed a sense of confidence. He's happy with himself. So Anthony, I'm curious. I want to hear in the comments here in the chat, what have you seen differently? Like, how have your interactions with people changed in the last few weeks or so that you've been back at school? So Nick Edwin says, I'm a lone wolf. I'm a loser. So Nick, I saw you left a comment on my other video. I commented back, and I know what that feels like, man. It sucks to feel like you're kind of alone in the experience, seeing all these other people have friends and have fun, and you just kind of want that, but you don't really know how to go about it. You don't know who to connect with or who's willing to accept you for who you are. And that's a big challenge, and that's a big fear that I think a lot of people have when it comes to making friends. There's this idea of, what if the people that you try to be friends with don't accept you for who you are? What if they just don't get it? They just don't understand your sense of humor. They don't understand, the things that you're into. They think it's weird. They think you're weird. All these different negative thoughts can pop into our minds and prohibit us from actually pursuing people and becoming friends with them. So Nick, I'm curious to know what your situation is a little bit more in depth. From what I've learned, a lot of people that feel like they're more lone wolves, a big part of it is that they don't feel like other people can understand them. And I know what that's like. I was very, very similar to that when I was in middle school. I had my group of friends that liked wrestling, but as for everyone else, I was terrified of talking to them. I felt like no one would understand who I was or the things I liked, and I was afraid they would make fun of me for it. So if you're someone that is struggling with that, I totally get where you're coming from. But I want to ask a question here, and I want you guys to answer in the chat. If you want to make more friends, if you want to have new friends, new people you can talk to, you just want to kind of expand your circle, I want you to write yes right now in the chat. Everyone type yes right now in the chat. If you want to expand your group of friends, you want to meet new people and just kind of grow your network with other people. So let's see. David Sanchez says, when are you going to make new kinds of videos? So David, I'm curious what you mean. Do you mean like more vlogging style, more reviews? I'd love to get your feedback on what kinds of videos you'd want to see. Let's see. Anthony saying, I've been talking, so Anthony's follow-up here. I've been talking more in a calm way. I've been working on keeping my nerves low. Also, I smiled at a girl in class the other day. I've noticed that I'm way more confident than last year. Anthony, that's it, man. That's what it's about. It's like, and the thing is, it's like, once you kind of get the ball rolling and you start displaying confidence, you start to see it roll out into other areas of your life. Sometimes all it takes is just kind of stepping out of your comfort zone and talking to people like like you never would. Just doing something new, putting yourself out there really can make a big difference in how you start to interact with other areas of your life. Here's an example. I want to share a friend story with you guys. So back in the day, me and my two closest friends, me and my brother and my two closest friends, we had our own little group. And we decided to go to the park one day. Now, we were all wrestling fans. We loved backyard wrestling. We went to the park one day that was near our house, and we started wrestling there, just us playing around. And maybe, I don't know, a little bit farther away in the park, we saw these other kids wrestling too. And we were like, hey, those kids are wrestling too. They're trying to show us up. So we tried to do cool things, and then we looked at them, and then they tried to do cool things. And there was this fear, but excitement. The fear was like, who are these kids? What are they trying to do? But the excitement was, hey, those kids like wrestling too. And we were kind of scared to go up to them and talk to them. But eventually, one of those kids recognized one of my friends, and they knew each other. So from there, we walked over to them, we talked to them, and it was amazing. We ended up expanding our friend group simply because we found someone who had common interests, and we approached them and we talked to them. And I think the way to really discover other people that have common interests with you, people that share similar ideas, things that you like, is to just talk to them, to ask them how they feel about something, ask them their thoughts. We kind of take that for granted. The simple idea of asking someone, hey, I'm a huge football fan. Do you like football? Just asking those questions, you can learn more about a person, and you'd be surprised how many people you overlap with. Think about this, for example. If you're someone that plays Fortnite, right? How many people are playing Fortnite? Pretty much everyone, right? So you can connect with someone and bond over just that. That could be a question you ask. Hey, do you play Fortnite? And if that person says yes, boom, you have something to talk about. So don't take for granted the fact that just asking people questions is an easy way to kind of start a friendship. That's exactly what happened when we discovered the other kids liked wrestling as well. We ended up talking to them about wrestling, and boom, we became friends. And guess what? Those people are still friends after all these years. They're my closest friends now. So a few people are asking what the Discord is. Oh man, I don't remember offhand. Let me look it up. But for those of you guys that do want to join the Discord, I'd love to have you on. I really got to create a shorter, easier URL for this. But I'm going to look at some of your guys' comments here. I saw a lot of you guys wrote yes. So a lot of you guys want to grow your friend group. You want to make new friends. You want to meet new people. Dennis said nah. So Dennis, okay, that's cool, man. You're good with who you got. You're good with your crew. And that's fine too. That's fine too. Thomas Turner says, I'm less confident this year than last. So Thomas, I'm interested in understanding a little bit better why you think that is. Why do you feel like you've become less confident as the year has gone on? Do you think it might be a matter of you've been out of the game, you haven't talked to people in school, you've been, summer break kind of can make you feel a little bit more isolated and introverted. And when you come back to school, it's a new environment, it's new people, it's new things. And that can be a bit overwhelming. So is that how you're feeling? Thomas is saying he's unrolling to Anthony's rolling. Michael Grimm says, I'm not much of a people person. What's your advice on that? That's okay, Michael. I think when people say they're not much of a people person, I think what they may mean is that they're more selective with who they want to invite into their lives, right? So we think of a people person as someone who gets along with everyone, but maybe you're someone who only gets along with a few people here and there. There are some people that you really enjoy being around, and some people you just could care less for, and that's fine. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to not want to be friends with everyone. You may say, hey, this person is okay, but they're not really someone I would probably ever hang out with or ever talk to, and that's fine. So my advice for someone who's in that position where they feel like they're not really a people person really is to just talk more about the things that you like when you interact with people and see if anyone grabs on it. That's something that I learned. That's part of the secret trick here that I wanted to share with you guys. Part of the secret trick is that it's really to kind of share things that you like, talk about things that you like, and wait to see if someone kind of hooks on that. So here's an example of that. An example of that might be something like I'd mentioned with the wrestling before, but let's say you are a huge fan of a certain musical artist. Let's say you love, I don't know, you guys give me a musical artist. I don't really know. Share musical artists. Let's say you love Drake. I don't know. Let's say you love Drake, right? You can talk about Drake. You can talk about the songs that you like, his new videos, any crazy things that Drake does, and see if the people around you kind of like that too. And they can kind of hook on and say, hey, I like Drake too. What's your favorite song by him? And you guys can have a conversation about that. The more you kind of put out there, the easier it's going to be to find the selective people that you do want to spend time with. And that way you kind of, Eminem, sorry, not Drake. We'll use Eminem, not Drake. If you find someone that also likes Eminem, then it's easier for you to kind of, have a more not have to deal with a lot of small talk stuff that, most people don't really like. Lyndon saying, Josh, tomorrow I'm going to funeral. My mom's brother died. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lyndon. I truly, truly am sorry to hear that, man. Gamerski says, with confidence, I'm better than I ever was. That's awesome, Gamerski. That's what it's all about, man. Building that confidence. Okay, so Nick followed up from before. He said, I feel like I'm uninteresting. I don't know how to approach people for the first time and how to, I don't know how to approach people for the first time and how to start, keep it going, and ending a conversation. I'm awkward and shy, really awkward. Nick, I totally get where you're coming from on that, man. Like, I also have no confidence to talk to anyone. So it sounds to me like you're kind of base level 0. It's like, I don't know where to begin. I'm awkward around people. I don't know what to say. And Nick, I get where you're coming from, man. It could be incredibly difficult. I'm sure you could tell me how incredibly difficult it can be and frustrating too, to feel like things just don't flow naturally, right? It's like, why is there this resistance? And why is it so difficult to just talk to people, to make friends? Why does there have to be so many roadblocks in the way? Well, Nick, I think you'll have to comment on my video that I did, I think it was Tuesday or so, on, how to make friends if you're shy. And really, I want to double down on that. I think the idea is this. It's that when it comes to making friends, when it comes to talking to new people or starting a conversation with someone you don't know at all, the very first step is to be open and honest with them, to share things and to learn about them. Guys, you guys, I was planning on holding on to it a little bit later on, but I'm going to share with you guys here and expand on it as this live stream goes on. The secret trick really is to be a good listener, to listen to other people, to hear what they're saying. Because here's the thing. Imagine you're a huge fan of football. You love the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Let's say you're a huge Eagles fan. And it's like, it's what you love. You watch it, you talk about it, you post online about it, you make highlight videos. Let's say you're a huge Eagles fan, right? If you let's say you encounter someone who's an Eagles fan and you hear them talking about it, being a good listener means asking them about their interests. And when you say, hey, are you an Eagles fan? And that person goes, what? Yeah, I'm a huge Eagles fan. I love the Eagles, blah, 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 and goes crazy about it. When that happens, then the person feels like you're willing to pay attention to them. You're willing to hear them out. You care about what they have to say. And the secret trick to really building a great friendship is being a good listener. It's being able to hear people, to meet them on their level as to the level of excitement and interest they share in something. Now, look, you may not be a football fan. I've had plenty of conversations with people about sports, and I am not a sports fan at all, right? Here's an example, right? I've never read the Twilight books, right? But my friend is a huge, huge Twilight fan. So I sat down with her one day and I said, so I don't really know much about Twilight other than I know it's about vampires and stuff. What is Twilight about? And why do you love it so much? And her face just glowed up. Like, she got so excited about the idea of talking about something that she really, really liked. And she was telling me the backstories and the characters. And I was asking her, like, oh, who's this character? Oh, who plays them in the movie? And we had a whole conversation about Twilight. I didn't really know anything about Twilight, nor did I really care in my own personal sense. But she got so excited and she felt so into that conversation because I showed a genuine interest in something she's passionate about. So the secret trick to really, really making a solid friendship is to be a good listener, to hear that person out. Now, the flip side is, in doing that, the other person should be a good listener as well. Both of you guys are willing to hear each other out, to learn about each other, because you genuinely want to build something good there. So let me jump back into the commentary. I was talking straightforward. Captain Aviation says, Josh, you see the Twin Towers fall? I did not, from where my school was, but my friend who went to another school in Brooklyn, could see the Manhattan skyline, and he did see it. The kids from their school, if they were high enough on the 4th or 5th floor, they did see the towers fall, which is pretty crazy and mind-boggling to think. Let's see. Kyle Gohard says, so there's this girl named Valerie. She friend-zoned me 2 times last year, and I ended up dating her at the end of the year. I was shocked myself because I've never seen anyone do that before. Wow. So she friend-zoned you 2 times, and then you ended up dating her at the end of the year. So guys, this is what I'm talking about. There's a level of persistence that comes with getting out of the friend zone, right? So I usually, whenever you guys tell me your stories and it ends up being a friend zone type of scenario, I tell you have 2 real situations here. One is to just accept it. Accept you're a friend. put your feelings aside and just deal with it. And then the second one is to go all in, to show her that you like her, to ask her out, to really keep pursuing her. And it sounds to me like Kyle Go Hard. You went hard, man. You did it. You showed this girl why you really liked her, why you wanted to be with her, and eventually she changed her perspective of you. And that level of confidence is what wins people over. Let's see. George Stevens says, what should I do? I have a crush and I don't know what to do. I've been bullied, so I stayed home today. So, George, you were bullied about your crush, or is the bullying separate from the crush? Kind of give me a little bit more detail and I'll try to give you an answer on that. Killer the Sauce God says, Josh, I'm too nervous to flirt with my crush. Any tips to help me? Please help me. Sure, Killer the Sauce, I'll give you a few basic tips when it comes to flirting with your crush. If you want to flirt with your crush and you kind of basically know her, like you know of her, you guys see each other in school, but you don't really talk to her as much, I think a good way to start flirting with her is to kind of like boast about yourself, but in a playful way. So one way to do that would be to say things to her like, come on, you know I'm the coolest guy around. You know I'm the coolest guy around. You know it. And her natural response would be like, no, you're not. You're not the coolest guy around. And she'll bite and she'll play along there. And that's flirting. It's flirting because it's like, you're saying something very pompous and then she's challenging you. And that tension that you guys have is the flirting. That's the fun process. So one fun thing that I used to do, and you guys can totally steal this line if you want. When I was younger, I used to tell everyone, listen, guys, rule number one, everyone loves the Josh. Doesn't matter if you don't like me in the beginning, you're going to end up liking me because everyone loves the Josh. And that was kind of my jokey way of kind of flirting with girls and saying things like that. And of course, girls would always say, what? Oh, please. Oh, please. But as time went on, I used my secret trick. I listened to them. I was friendly. I was fun. I was flirty. And eventually they're like, hey, Josh is a really cool guy, you know? So then I would jump back in and say, you see, I told you everyone loves the Josh. So that was my fun little thing that I used to do back in the day. You guys could steal that. Or if you think it's crazy, crazy, then don't. So people are asking about the Discord. Yes, that's what I was going to do. I was going to throw the Discord link in here. So the Discord link, for anyone that is on Discord and would love to join, let me just type it out here. And I want to hear from you guys too. How does Lila side? I got to start putting the Discord link inside of the description. Okay, that's the Discord link. Now I want to hear what you guys are saying in the comments here. But yeah, so that's the piece to the secret trick that I think a lot of people don't realize, because here's the thing. When you're talking to someone for the first time, you sometimes end up becoming more focused on how you present yourself and what the other person's thinking about you. And that can be a problem. And it can be a problem for a few different reasons. Can I pin this? No, I can't pin it. The reason why it could be a problem is because if you're only focusing on how you're being perceived, you're not even paying attention to the other person, and that person's going to end up feeling ignored. We all feel like everyone's staring at us. When you walk into a room, we always feel like everyone's looking at us. But the truth is, everyone is thinking to themselves, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. So if everyone is self-focused, no one is stepping outside of that. Everyone is kind of nervous, waiting for someone else to kind of approach them and talk to them. So how do you break out of that nervousness? How do you kind of step out of that comfort zone? Really, the best way to go about it is to learn about them, to ask questions, to be more proactive with people. Because if you show them that you are presenting a warm, inviting environment, right? The reaction they're going to have is a sense of comfort, a sense of ease. They're not going to feel nervous or worried. They're not going to be so worried of the idea of, oh my God, everyone's looking at me, because they're going to say, hey, this person's fun and they accept me for who I am. So that's something that I think a lot of you guys need to start implementing there. So Yagmir Solomez is saying, this is a cry for help. Let me see what he said. Okay. Hey, Josh, where will I be? Where I will be is kind of a place where everyone already has friends. What should I do to make new friends? Okay, good question there. So what do you do if everyone you know already is in a friend group, right? And you're kind of a loner. You're kind of by yourself. Everyone already is segmented off. People hang out in their own little cliques and you don't really have anyone to associate with. Well, I think the easiest way is this. What I would say is it won't let you copy or tap on it. That's annoying. I don't know why. All right, tell you what, Captain Aviation, I'm going to put the Discord link in the comments after the live stream so you can join then. But so what do you do if everyone kind of is already broken off into their own little cliques? Well, I think the best thing is you have to seek the opportunities where you can talk to people individually. Those are going to be your key moments. One way to go about that is kick my fidget spinner. One way to go about that is to talk to people when you're people are entering class, someone's sitting, usually not with their friends. They're kind of by themselves doing their own thing. Sometimes people are in classes together and hang out, but I think that opportunity there to talk to them when they're just kind of sitting by themselves is a good opportunity for you to turn to them and use all the tips that I've kind of already mentioned. Ask them what they're into, ask them what their hobbies are, and learn a little bit more about them, because the more you show that you're interested in learning about them, the more they're going to feel comfortable opening up to you. So even if they already have a group of, Josh has a fidget spinner, hold on. I've got 2 fidget spinners, man. This one I got at VidCon, and this one I bought for a video I did a long time ago. Actually, I'm going to link it up here. How to ask your crush out using a fidget spinner. It's definitely worth a watch. But not 1, but 2. So, where was I going with that? Yeah. So talking to them in class, because the more you talk to them in class, the better a friendship you'll build there. And you might have an easier opportunity for them to introduce you to their friends and to be introduced into their friend group, right? They may say, hey, you're a cool guy. You should come hang out with us one day during lunch or after school or wherever it may be. So you have to kind of find ways to ease into other groups if everyone's already kind of broken off into their cliques. Derek Rose is saying, hey, Josh, how do you get rid of the annoying people that tease you for talking to your crush? That's a good question, Derek. Here's what I would honestly say. If people are teasing you for talking to your crush, one, they don't recognize how much confidence you need to actually feel comfortable walking up and talking to your crush. Like, it is not an easy thing to do, especially when you feel nervous or just are afraid people are going to make fun of you. So what do you do about the people that do tease you about it? How do you kind of get over that? Well, I think you have to remember this. People are going to make fun of you no matter what you do, whenever you do something for the first time, right? Everyone's doubtful, everyone's skeptical. But if they see you continuously pursue your crush, continuously talk to your crush, get to know her better, laugh with her, joke with her, ask her out, if they see you make those progressive steps, they're going to stop talking. And the reason they're going to stop talking is because, hey, you're getting results. You're doing exactly what you want to do. No one's negative comments are deterring you. You're just actually going after it. And that is a ballsy thing to do that all these people who are sitting on the sidelines making fun of you can't do. It's like, think about it like this. If you're a courageous person, are you going to make fun of someone else for being courageous? No. It's the people who lack the courage who attack others for making progressive and forward moves to change their life. So it's the people who aren't being active that are the ones trying to hold you back. They're trying to keep you down on their level where they're not being active. You be an active person, pursue your crush, ask her out, see where it can go, man. Thank you. These are really good advice. Thank you, Yegmare. I hope that's helpful. Let's see. Mystified says, should I pursue a girl if she's asking for a boyfriend? That's a good question. It all depends on whether or not you want to be in a relationship, right? Do you want to be her boyfriend if that's what she's looking for? If you guys continue to build what you have, are you okay with that being the next step? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Ashley's saying, I don't see the point of fidget spinners. Why do people buy them? That's a very good question, Ashley. I bought this one for a video, but I guess people bought them. I guess they were popular for a while because they were just a unique thing to have. I don't know. I really don't have a good answer for that one. Of all the answers I have and all the things I speak about, I can't answer that question. I want to ask you guys another question here, and I want to get a yes or no type of answer from you. So here's where I want you guys to kind of jump in. We're going to have kind of an impromptu poll. Have you ever felt nervous asking someone to hang out, whether it was your crush or a friend or a classmate? Have you ever felt nervous asking someone to hang out? If the answer is yes, write yes. If the answer is no, write no. Now, I've felt so nervous sometimes with people that I was classmate friends with, taking it to the next stage. I was always kind of nervous that they would think I'm weird or ruin the class relationship. Momo Balls is saying yes. Killer the Sauce is saying yes. Thomas Turner, yes. Arby saying I have no friends. Arby, why? George says yes. Thomas says yes. So I want to tell you guys something that happened in college, right? So I made a video on this a while back, but I'll kind of give you the brief scenario here. When I started college, right, I didn't really know anyone. My brother went there too, and he had sort of his own group of friends, but I was kind of by myself. I didn't really know anyone yet, right? And in the beginning, what people tended to do, they would leave their dorm room doors open so people walking down the halls can like kind of like pop in and say hi. And it was just a way for people to get to know each other. So me and my roommate would always leave our door open, and this girl ended up kind of popping in and saying hi. Now, me and her started to become a little bit better of friends. And she was someone that lived in the dorm, and I was kind of too nervous to ask her to actually hang out. And I think a big reason for that was because I was afraid of her saying no and then always being around her and it being awkward and weird. So instead of trying to ask her to hang out, I instead cowered away because I was afraid that, oh, but what if she says no and then I have to see her again and it's going to be weird? And I know a lot of you guys face similar situations like this when it comes to asking out your crush, when it comes to asking a classmate to hang out, or whatever it may be. There's always this fear that if they say no, it's going to be weird and awkward after. Well, this is something that I've learned. And really listen to me on this, guys. I really, really want you to pay attention on this. It's only awkward if you don't move forward with it. It stays awkward if you keep it where it is. That is the honest and hard truth that we all have to realize. So let's take talking to your crush, for example, right? You ask your crush to hang out. Your crush is like, no. Okay. Now, if you keep it where it is, it's always going to be awkward when you see her. But if the next time you see her, you say, hey, what's up? How's it going? Treat it like it's normal, treat it like it's nothing, and just keep moving forward. Then eventually she's going to go, well, he's not weird about it. I don't feel weird about it. And everything's going to be cool. Now, yes, you did get rejected. It happens. But that doesn't have to define the way that you interact with each other. That was something I had to learn with that girl in college, because it's like I was so afraid to ask her to hang out, even though I would see her in the hallways, because I was like, oh, but what if I see her after? It's weird. Even if she said, not really, I just see you as a friend. Even if she just told me that. If every single time afterwards, I would have went, every time I saw her, I would have just say, hey, how's it going? And talked to her normally and went on with my day, I would have kind of normalized and gotten rid of the awkwardness. There wouldn't have been that awkwardness. But I was more afraid of what may happen rather than actually leading towards something. So now I want to hear your guys' perspectives here. When it comes to making new friends, when it comes to talking to your crush, when it comes to getting closer with a classmate, whatever it may be, what do you feel is holding you back? What do you think? And I want to honestly hear from you guys. What do you think is the worst possible type of rejection you can get that would totally destroy you, right? Like, what could that person say? And realistically, what would they say? She's because you're an idiot and you're a loser and you suck and you should die. Like, she's not going to say that. She's probably going to say, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't like you. And then you can move forward. Right? But what do you feel is that roadblock? What is holding you back from talking to that person, from asking them to hang out? Gamer Ski is saying nothing, man. Dude, not, that's right. That's right. Anthony says, got to turn the what if to walking up to her and say hi. Absolutely, Anthony. You are on the money, man. It really is a matter of kind of reframing your way of seeing things and just going for it, guys. Let's see. Super Mario Thomas says, should I follow my crush on Instagram before or after I talk to her? I personally think you should follow her after you talk to her. I think that if you follow her before, then, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to like a few of her pictures. You might comment here and there. But she may feel like, who is this guy? Why is he following me? I don't even know him in real life. And you might kind of derail the whole potential there. I think if you want to build something with her, talk to her in person, right? Talk to her, get to know her a little bit better and say, oh, you on Instagram? Let me add you. And then add her on Instagram right then and there when you're standing there talking to her. Because if you do it like that, no, it's not going to come out of nowhere. She's never going to feel like, why is he following me? You're telling her, oh, you're on Instagram? Cool. Let me add you right now. All right, cool. I added you on Instagram. So anyway, blah, 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 and go on with your conversation. If you just work the adding thing in the middle of the conversation, it never stands out. It never seems weird. Same thing too when it comes to asking a girl or asking someone for their phone number, right? Let's say we're in the middle of a conversation and I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You're pretty cool. Let me get your number. Here, put your number in my phone. And I hand you over my phone. You put your number in, I put it in my pocket, and we keep talking. It's never going to feel weird like if I ask you for your number, because it's part of the natural flow now of the conversation. Let's see. Lyndon says, Josh, is it bad to build a relationship with your crush's mom? Absolutely not. I think it's great to build a relationship with your crush's mom. One thing you should really work on doing is getting closer with the people in your crush's environment. right? Here's the thing. If you get close, and I've done a video on this, I'll link it up over here, guys, all about getting closer to your crush's friends. A lot of people stay away from the friends. I think you should go forward. You should talk to the friends, because if you can get your crush's friends to like you, then they're going to talk positive about you. They're going to say good things. They're going to tell your crush, hey, you should go out with them. They seem like a good person. So you make things easier for yourself. Make things easier for yourself when you actually get to know more people in their circle. Killa the Sauce is saying, Josh, how do I talk to a girl when she's with her friends? That's a good question, Killa. Honestly, I think when it comes to talking to a girl when she's with her friends, I did a video on this as well. But basically what I would say is this. If a girl's hanging out with her friends, you have to approach the group and talk to everyone. Don't just single out your crush, because then everyone standing around is going to be like, what does this person want? What are they doing here? But if you approach the group and you ask a question to all of them, hence why I said watch my fidget spinner video, because I talk about how to ask a girl out using a fidget spinner, and I talk about how to approach a group in that video. So go look up that video after this one, and you'll see. So Ethanol says, my largest problem is the aftermath. Although after my freshman homecoming, I learned it's weirder for me than them. That's a good question, man. And that's what, not even a question. I mean, that's a good assessment that you've made. The assessment really is this. It's that, we tend to overthink things, and we think they're worse than they are. We tend to attribute motives. We think, oh, that person thinks I'm weird. Oh, that person thinks I'm ugly. Oh, that person doesn't like me. We create that for these people. It's like, and a lot of times it's only in our head, and we need to be able to work past it, guys. We need to work past it. So one thing I want to say is this, and I usually say this a little later on, but if you're not already following me over on Instagram, I want to let you guys know that I do an Instagram after party after these live streams. So after I finish up here, what I do is I go over on Instagram, I do a live stream, and I invite a few of you guys on. You guys can go follow me over here on the Josh Speaks on Instagram. I do an Instagram after party where I invite a few guys on. We do video chatting and stuff. I answer questions. It's kind of a more laid back stream, but it's very, very exclusive. So if you want to join it, if you want to be part of the Instagram live stream, you got to follow me over on Instagram. That's the only way to get there. It's pretty exclusive, pretty tight, small list of people. So I'd say it's pretty cool. So go follow me over on Instagram, guys, and you'll see that after this live stream. All right. Gamerski is saying, Josh, what have you done? Girls talk to me now by themselves, and I'm talking to 3 girls at once sometimes. Dude, you're on fire. Like, what can I tell you here? Take this water, man. You're on fire right now. It's like when you start to really, really invest in yourself and really start to push yourself forward and say, hey, I'm going to try things. I'm going to learn from my mistakes. If I encounter hardships, I'm going to try to work through them. I'm going to think about them. I'm going to really recognize that I'm someone with value. I'm someone with worth, and I can do this. Once you realize that, guys, once you realize you have exactly what it takes to be somebody great, you can start making moves, because you either win or you learn. You don't look at failure as failure. Failure becomes an opportunity for you. So James Howard says, and then I'll get to Tina Britton. James Howard says, hey, Josh, I'm going to a party this Sunday, and my crush is going to be there. How can I talk to her? James, that's a good question. I've done a video on how to talk to girls at parties. You should definitely check that out. And I think a good thing to remember is this, is that a party is very, very different from the school environment, right? Parties are a lot more casual. It's like in school, you have to worry about going to class and friends and all these things. At a party, it's just kind of you and the person. So approach her from a very, very casual place. Approach her in a sense where it's like, hey, cool. I didn't know you know so-and-so person. Do you live far from here? Cool. So I've seen you around school, but I don't really know you that well. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you like to do for fun? Kind of lead in with that and just keep it very, very casual, because the environment is a casual one. Tina Britton says, how to talk to my crush's dad. So when it comes to talking to your crush's relatives, whether it's a brother, a sister, a father, a mother, whatever it may be, I think a good way is this. It's like parents really, really value when the person that their child is talking to is respectful, right? So Tina, if you want to talk to your crush's dad, try to be respectful in just how you speak to him. If you are video chatting with your crush, or your crush's dad picks him up after school, whatever it may be, introduce yourself. Say, "How you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm so and so. I'm his classmate. Their classmate. Whatever it may be. Just introduce yourself and show that level of respect, because parents will look at that and go, "Oh, she's a good person right there." And that's the kind of parent response you want. You want them to look at you like, "Hey, they're a good person." So we got a lot of comments coming in, guys. I'm trying to get through them in time. We'll see. But yeah, when it comes to making new friends, when it comes to really kind of expanding your circle and your network of people, what's so important is you want to find people that you can trust. A lot of times it's like we see people with huge groups of friends, right? Huge groups of friends. They got 10, 20 people in there and everyone hangs out. And it's like, man, they look so cool. But the truth of the matter is that they may have a big group, but not every single person is their true close friend. A lot of them are extended friends, and we don't realize that, but they are. Most of us have very, very few true close friends, and I want to get a number from you guys here. On one hand, or maybe two hands, how many close friends do you guys have? Like, type it in the chat right now. I could probably say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I have about 5 really, really close friends. Everyone else is kind of second tier to me, but I have 5 really close friends. How many do you guys have? Let's see. Thomas Turner says 4. Arby says none. Ethan L says 1 close friend. Mystified 0. Chicken Lead 0. Dr. Scarlet 2. Gamerski 1. Jalen Richardson 4. Tina Britton 5. Anthony 4. Ethan Gamer 5. Chicken Lead said 3. Oh, 3. That's a 3 instead of 0. Okay. So we all have a wide range, but it seems like everyone has less than a hand's worth, or at least 1 hand's worth of people, right? So there we go. Vac proves me wrong. 6 people. Killer the Sauce got 8 people. So we all have a varying group of number of really, really close friends. Super Mario 7. But I think the point is, it's like, we have friends, but I don't want you to feel discouraged when you see people with huge groups of friends and be like, why don't I have that? Why can't I make friends like that? Because the reality is that a lot of them aren't as close as you think they are. And they all just kind of sort of know each other and hang out with each other, right? So I think what's more important is to work on building really, really high quality friendships rather than quantity friendships, right? It's like, what good is a friend if when you're feeling sad, you can't talk to them about how you feel, right? What good is a friend that when you want to share exciting news, you can't call them up because they're not going to care. Like, you want friends that really, really care about you and want to see you succeed. Sometimes we have friends that don't, and we don't realize it till later. And we realize, hey, those are bad friends. They're toxic people in our lives. They're negative people I need to get rid of. Now, and that's a whole thing in and of itself. 1 or 2 people in our negative, they bring us down, they make us feel bad, and yet we call them a friend. We call them a friend because we've known them forever, or because we are forced in a situation, or your family knows each other, or whatever it may be. But the key really is to focus on building meaningful, quality friendships. That's really what's going to help you succeed. You need to surround yourself with positive people if you ever want to rise. Mystified asked a really good question. Do we need friends? Josh, that's a good question, Mystified. Honestly, I think it all depends on the person, but I'm leaning towards yes. And the reason why I'm leaning towards yes is because we all need people that are we can share things with, we can bounce ideas off of, we can know that we don't have to kind of go through things on our own, right? Having friends really means having someone that you can talk to, you could share things with, right? So here's an example. Like, for me, whenever I'm trying to make big decisions with what I'm going to do with Josh Speaks or whatever I'm going to do in my life, I have a few select people that I share things with, I talk to. I ask them what their thoughts are, if they can give me advice, and I do the same for them. So I think it's important to have friends because you do have a network of people that you can rely on, and then they can rely on you. Hey, Vince Russo's in the house. Who knows what he's going to say this time? Okay, Derek Rose says, another question, Josh. My friend is friends with my crush's best friend. Do you recommend telling him to tell the best friend that I like my crush? Will it make her aware that I noticed her? Thanks. Okay, all right. Your friend is friends with your crush's best friend. Okay, all right, I got it. So you're saying, should you tell him to tell the best friend you like your crush? Okay, so you're trying to get it around. Okay, Should he tell the best friend? I think that, well, all right. Trying to think. So there's one scenario where there's a wingman type of scenario where your friend can kind of help you get closer to them. And then there's another scenario where your friend says it and then it makes things weird and awkward. But I'm leaning towards the wingman scenario in your case. I think what you should do is this. I think instead of your friend telling the other girl that you like her, I think your friend should try to bring all four of you together. If your friend can bring all four of you together, then you can start to talk to your crush. Then you could start to get to know her better. And you're doing it in a group setting, so it's not weird. So instead of your friend saying, hey, my friend likes your friend, instead of doing that, try to have your friend say, hey, we should hang out sometime and bring your friend. I'll bring my friend, and everyone will get to know each other. Do it that way, because that way your friend is being a wingman rather than just telling everyone what you think and then trying to flip a coin and figure out whether or not it's going to work. Vince Russo says, you can tell friends stuff you can't tell your family. That's why they're so important. I agree with you there, man. You can tell your friends things sometimes that you don't feel comfortable telling your family. Chicken Lead says, yo, Josh, what's a good way to start a convo over text, not to ask her out, but just to talk? Like something to start and something to ask her or talk about and not be boring. So Chicken Lead, check out my videos from last week. I talk all about this. I talk all about how to start conversations over text, how to not have boring conversations through text, what to do if she doesn't respond. I have a ton of videos on that, a whole playlist dedicated to texting your crush. You definitely got to check those out because I think they'll be super helpful for you. Michael Grimm says, do you have Messenger? Maybe we talk to get to know each other. Are you asking if I have Messenger? I do, but I don't really use it to talk to people. For me, it's more Instagram DMs and Snapchat too. So if you guys want to talk to me one-on-one, you can always shoot me a DM over on Instagram. I do my best to answer as many messages as I can. I'm super behind because I just came back from a trip, but I am going to eventually catch up one day. So Gamerski says, sadly, your definition of a good friend is not enough in my city. That's interesting, Gamerski. I'd love for you to break that down a little bit more. Vatcraft says, what should I do if my friend is my crush and he likes me, but he is shy to tell me? So what should I do if my friend is my crush and he likes me, but he is shy to tell me? Okay. So your friend likes you, and they're your crush. So it sounds like you both like each other, but no one's really made the move. No one's kind of created that scenario. I think in those situations where you both like each other, the very, very best thing for you guys to do is to spend time hanging out with each other and to kind of relay that you like them without saying, hey, I like you, and waiting around. Instead, say stuff to them like, I really enjoy when we hang out one-on-one. I really feel like we are pretty cool together. We have a cool time together. Say those type of things to let them see that you enjoy spending time around them. And then maybe he'll start to work through his shyness once he starts to see that he can be open. A lot of guys are afraid of rejection, and they're afraid of being vulnerable because it really, really hurts a guy a lot when he gets rejected. It really, really stings. So in order to kind of show him that he probably won't get rejected because you like him too, is to just kind of warm up to him and say things like, I'm really happy that we both really enjoy spending time together, because that's going to make him feel way more comfortable opening up. Josh, could you do a week on AP advice? I might do more. I'm definitely going to do more videos on testing and classes as we start rolling on into the school year. But I definitely think that that's something I want to cover. Right now, I'm trying to think what I want to do now. I might do a week on homecoming or a few videos on homecoming. So I got to figure that out. What's your most awkward encounter with a girl or your crush? Oh, man. I've shared so many stories of awkward encounters and awkward things. Definitely my most awkward encounter was the time that I was friend zoned by a girl. And me and her would write letters back and forth to each other, right? Like we'd write handwritten notes and give it to each other in between classes because I was like, oh, cool. And one day I decided to tell her that I liked her, right? I was always her best friend. That was like my role, but I secretly loved her, hoping that one day she'd realize that I loved her. So I wrote a letter and I said, hey, just read this letter. I want to hear what you have to say. Gave her the letter, talked all about, I like you, I want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. She gave me back a letter. It's just like, literally, let's just be friends. Like, totally just friends on me, like, boom, stamped it in my face. And I was so angry with her and later on that day, she had a date with a guy that she went to McDonald's. I saw her go to McDonald's with the guy. I walked into McDonald's with my friend. I grabbed her letter that she gave me earlier in the day that said, let's just be friends. And I was like, I guess I won't be needing this anymore. And then I threw the letter at her. Now, if you've ever thrown a piece of paper, a flat piece of paper, it's not just going to fall and hit the ground. So I threw the letter with all this force, and the paper just goes. And all four of us, me, my friend, and her, and the guy, are just staring at this paper slowly floating down, and it softly lands on the table. And then when it did that, I just grabbed the paper, crumbled it up, and ran out of there. Literally the most like awkward and embarrassing and like loserous thing I've ever done. It gets worse though. It gets worse because the very next day, I was still upset and hurt. She walks up to me and she's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry that I hurt your feelings. Is it okay if we just stay friends?" And of course, my response was, "Okay." And that was it. I stayed friends with her and I accepted my friend zone status, even though it hurt every single time she would talk to another guy. I've done a few videos on that whole saga. If you're interested in seeing that, check out just type in like my worst friend zone experience ever and you'll find my video. And there's a bunch of videos tied to it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But you need to crumble it up before you throw it. Crumble it up before you throw it. Why didn't I think of that, Vince? Literally, I threw the paper and it was the worst. But it provided for a really, really funny story years and years later. So let's talk more about friends. Let's talk more about crushes. Let's talk more about what you guys are going through. I've already shared the secret trick. For anyone new that's joining in, I'll kind of recap what I mean by my secret trick for making new friends. When I talk about that, I really mean being a good listener, being open to hearing another person out and showing them that you're willing to hear them, you're willing to talk about the things that they like, you're willing to engage with them in conversation. Now, this is something I talk about a lot in my videos where it talks about having deeper conversations, right? Sometimes we'll ask a question and the person will give us an answer and then we're just like, okay, cool. And we leave it at that. And so we lose the opportunity to dive into a deeper conversation with them. We don't take advantage of it. So I think we need to start taking advantage of those situations where it's like, hey, what's your favorite sports team? And they're like, oh, I love the Eagles, or I love the Patriots. Instead of going, cool, you can follow up and ask a deeper question. Oh, cool. How long have you been watching football? When did you start liking the Patriots? Could you ever imagine yourself being a football player? Like, you just go deeper into the questions on that topic and you're showing them that you really care about what they have to say. You're being a good listener. Let's see. Mystified asked, how do I deal with blushing? So Mystified, do you mean you start blushing? I think you mean you start blushing whenever you're around your crush. If you start blushing whenever you're around your crush, it's okay, man. It happens. If you start blushing and getting nervous in the moment of talking to them, what I think you should do is before you talk to them, really, really practice your mindful breathing. Just take a second, close your eyes, take a deep breath, breathe in, really just make that moment before you talk to them just a very, very peaceful one. And that should help you kind of ease into the situation of talking to them. Josh, could you swipe up a bit? I typed a lot. All right, let me see. Okay. You did type a lot. Guys, what's your opinion on comic? All right, everybody's hosting car theft, drug dealing. Fights are nothing usual. Everybody here is out for themselves, so I need someone loyal. Who would not chicken out, not be afraid to slap some guy who got it coming. So Gamersky, I get where you're coming from, man. It sounds to me like you're in a rough and tough place, man. Like, you need someone that's going to kind of get your back. And I get you on that. Like, I talked a lot about in friendships, being there for someone to hear them out and listen to them. But I think another piece to that is having someone's back. And not just like physically always being willing to jump in and brawl on your behalf, but also knowing when to pull you back and help you not engage in fights, right? That's an important characteristic too. Friends should be there to help look out for what's in our best interest. Sometimes it's not in our best interest to jump in and fight someone, and our friends need to go, whoa, hold on, man, hold on. Think it through. Does it make sense, man? Should you engage? Like, we need friends that are going to kind of have our backs in that way. So I get where you're coming from, man. You come from a rough place, and it's like you need someone that you can trust. Not everyone's loyal. Not everyone's going to kind of look out for you. So I get where you're coming from, man. Taniyama said you typed a lot. Let me scroll up a bit. Okay. My friend made a deal with me that if neither of us had our first kiss by the end of the year, we would kiss. She has a boyfriend right now, but she keeps sending mixed signals. I kind of like her. Okay. Vince says my favorite Joshua is when they bought some boner pills and nearly had an orgy. That's a good story. So you guys agreed on having your first kiss together, but now she has a boyfriend. Chances are she's gonna have her first kiss with that boyfriend. Most likely, I don't know, but I think I think what you should probably do is not hold out for that, because if she's with someone right now, the best thing to do is to kind of let her be. Don't focus so much on the relationship with her. Gamerski, I apologize if my answer, your Wi-Fi went out. Check the replay afterwards. Just kind of scroll up to like the 45-minute mark and you'll find it when the video goes up. One last question. How can I build confidence in class? That's a good question. To build confidence in class, there's a lot of different ways to go about that. One is be more proactive in participating in class. That's something you guys might not realize. The more proactive you are in participating in class, the more confident you'll feel, because raising your hand, having someone answer you, having a teacher acknowledge you can help you feel like, hey, it's okay to speak up. I don't have to worry about speaking up. Vince Russo saying my best friend were Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. Yeah, Vince, you ran the show. I got to say, you ran the show, man. So Ethan all says, Josh, hey, Josh, next week is homecoming, and my crush just asked someone to go with them, but I don't know how it went. Should I ask her now how it went, or just move on and go with my friends? That's a good question. Well, if she asked someone to go and you don't know how it went, you could always hint at it. And this is something I talk about called the boyfriend trick. I talked about in other videos, but you can use it here too. You can always say to her, hey, so, are you excited to go to a homecoming with so-and-so? Now she'll correct you. She'll say, oh, I am going with him. We're excited, or I'm not going with him. And if she says she's not going with him, well, then that creates the opportunity for you to jump in and go, well, you should come with me, or we should go with our friends. Toddy, do around every Thursday. Around 5 o'clock. I'm trying to make that a consistent thing, so definitely check it out there. Swaggy Ray, good to see you, man. Good to have you in here. It's been a while. College classes are now more individually based rather than groups made in high schools. For any guys living off campus, would it be much of a disadvantage to make moves when everyone's schedules vary? That's a good question. First off, congratulations, Swaggy Ray. You're in college, man. Like, I saw you grow throughout your high school years, man. I'm so proud of you. So you're living off campus. It's like, does it make sense to make moves? Are you at a disadvantage for that? Well, here's the thing. I think that there's advantages to being on campus and like living on a campus. And then there's also disadvantages. There's advantages to being off campus. Part of the advantage to being off campus is that you kind of you're in a place for a bit and then you're out of a place. So your mind isn't always in that world, and you can kind of expand outside of it a little bit. So what I mean by that is this: it's that if there's a girl you want to talk to or people you want to be friends with, you can always invite them to do things off campus. Generally, when people live on a campus, they only do things on campus, and it gets repetitive and it gets boring. But because you're off campus, the advantage you have there is that you can always say, hey, let's go hang out at this other park that I know, or go to this place that I know, or do things like that. Don't feel nervous, and don't feel worried about the fact that you're not living on a campus, or even if there is a campus, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a school that's community college or something like that. But if you're in that type of position where you're not really sure, the best thing to do is still talk to people. Like, I don't think you're really at a disadvantage in any kind of way there in terms of talking to people. Josh, who won WWE SmackDown? I think AJ Styles is champion right now. Vince Russo says, yeah, AJ's champ and Charlotte's champ. I don't know who the tag champs are. New Day tag champs? If you don't know if she's going with him, you should just kidnap him. You know the answer is no. Anthony said, got my confidence right on the money right now. Just got to master the 3-second rule in person, but I mastered it in text. Anthony, I'm super proud of you, man. I'd love to hear more of your story. Akshar's 323 in India. Thank you so much for staying up, man. Thank you so much, Ashkar. Really appreciate it. I have school tomorrow. Well, the stream is going to end in a few minutes here, guys. So if you haven't already hit the thumbs up button on the stream, we're at 31 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 40 by the end of the stream. Chicken Lead, I usually do these live streams for an hour, but if you want to be part of the exclusive Instagram after party, go follow me over on Instagram at the Josh Speaks. Follow me over there, and you can jump on the live stream that I do right after this. It's the Instagram after party. I invite people on. We have video chats on here. It's a pretty cool, casual environment. A lot less people. Just very, very cool. You'll see. Only cool people that come to the Instagram after party. It's been a while since I've been to the Instagram after party. Anthony, you're always invited, man. Oh, there we go. Vince is AJ. Yeah, New Day is tag champs. Okay. Oh, yeah, Nakamura has the U.S. title. Thank you for the update, Vince. After party, boys. So yeah, so please answer my question. Thermal hits. Where's your question? How do you keep eye contact in conversations? I always just look to the side with anyone. So thermal hits. I made a video all about how to make eye contact without it being awkward. Definitely check out that video. Definitely check out how I do how check out the video on eye contact, how to make eye contact, how to look at someone. One of the techniques that I talk about is when you're talking to someone, try to look at the center of their forehead when you look at them, and try to just stare at that as you have conversation with them. Now, if you're really close to them, they're going to see that you're not looking at them in the eyes. But if you're a bit distant, they won't notice that. So if you're the kind of person that kind of looks away and you get nervous a lot, that's a good technique and a good trick that you could try. Anthony asks, what's your favorite soda, Josh? Oh, man. Who loves orange soda? I love orange soda. Is it true? I do. If anyone knows where that's from, you let me know. Also, check out the Discord for conversations outside. Yep, definitely, guys. If you can't join the Instagram after party, because not everyone has Instagram, jump on the Discord. Be part of the conversations there. We have a lot of interesting conversations going. It should be a lot of fun. Keenan and Kale. Well, Vince Russo, of course you know. You lived through the whole Nickelodeon era. Let's see. Derek Rose says, how to deal with self-doubt. People say I'm attractive, but I don't believe them. My crush is quite attractive and gets a lot of boys' attention, but she only gives me looks and not other boys. Confused. Okay, so your crush is quite attractive and gets a lot of boys' attention, but she only gives you looks. So it's possible, dude, that she likes you and only you. She might not like anyone else. If she thinks you're attractive, if other people think you're attractive, and this girl is kind of digging you, looking at you, making eye contact, what's holding you back, man? Just like talk to her. I think that's the opportunity you have in front of you. You have the chance right there to just approach her, talk to her, ask her to hang out. Nothing should hold you back. Let's see. Slayer is saying, please answer my question. This girl I used to have tons of classes with, now I have none, walked up to me and talked about missing having classes with me. What should my move be? Slayer, I think just like the last piece of advice I gave, if this girl is coming up to you and she's saying she misses having class with you, then that means that you did something to stand out in her mind. For some reason, and it's quite obvious when you're probably a really interesting guy, like she enjoys being around you. She enjoys hearing you and seeing you and just being in your presence. So take advantage of that. You know, if this is a girl that you're interested in or you want to develop something with, that's your opportunity right there to approach her, to talk to her, to build something with her. Don't skimp out on it. Ashkar says, and thank you again for staying up. I know it's 3 a.m. and you have school tomorrow. How to reach out to someone, a girl, if you've been in an all-boys school. So that's a good question. That's a video topic that I'm going to cover at some point. How to ask a girl out if you're in an all-boys school, and then the vice versa. I think if you're in a situation where you're in an all-boys school and there's no girls around, and your only interaction with girls may come through social media or a school that's nearby or people you meet randomly outside of school, those are the opportunities you have to take. Because if you're in an all-boys school, you're not really going to meet a girl that you can ask out. So you need to kind of look outside. Now, chances are if there's an all-boys school, then they're far away. And that means to just hang out by that school, to talk to girls when they come hang out after school. So I would use that. You and a group of guys just kind of go over there, talk to girls, get to know them, find where the all-girls school is around you. All right, guys. Last question, and then I'm going to jump on Instagram for the Instagram live stream. And this last question is going to be this. Todama says, I've made good friends with my crushes, and they always friend zone me. How do I make friends with a girl without getting friend zoned? Todama, I have a whole playlist full of videos all about getting out of the friend zone, dealing with being friend zoned for you. But here is my just final piece of advice here for this live stream. I've made good friends with my crushes, and they always friend zone me. You have to revisit how you're interacting with these people. Chances are when you interact with them, you're not establishing that you like them or that you're interested in them in any way. Now, that doesn't mean telling them that you like them, but that means flirting with them, joking with them, asking them to hang out one-on-one, putting your arm around them, holding their hand, like just showcasing actual interest. And you need to do that early on in the beginning. If you just kind of approach them from a very shy and sheepish place, and you don't really showcase any kind of emotion that you like them, they're going to say, well, this is just the guy who likes me, nothing special there. And they're not going to think anything of it. Then later on, when you spring up your feelings, they're going to go, but I thought you were my friend. I've always viewed you as a friend. And you're going to ruin your chances there. So like I said, check out all my friend zone videos, my friend zone playlist. I think it'll be super helpful for you guys. One last thing here before I wrap this up. I talked about my secret trick for making new friends and how it really is listening and engaging with people, hearing what they have to say. It doesn't matter if it's a classmate, it doesn't matter if it's your crush, if it's a sibling, if it's a person who lives near you, a neighbor, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is this: we all want to feel understood, we all want to feel heard. So if you want to build a better relationship with anyone, be open to talking to them and hearing them out. Ask questions, show a genuine interest in who they are as a person. Because when you do that, they're going to open up, feel more comfortable around you, and you're going to develop something that you're going to be super, super happy with. All right, guys, head on over to Instagram. My Instagram is the Josh Speaks. I'm going to do the Instagram live stream. Thank you guys for being a part of this live stream, and I will catch you over there. As always, love and peace. See you guys.